welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is time for a special bonus interview. This is a man that I interviewed very early on Magic TV. He is, and I've said this on the channel over and over again, the most creative, talented, sleight of hand artist, magician, performer, creator, inventor in the world today. There's nobody who touches him, and his stuff is mind-blowing. His output is incredible, and I'm so excited to have him back on the channel. We're going to be talking about some very specific stuff, but I am, of course, talking about the legend himself, Mr. JM, Justin Miller. How you doing, man?
What is going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, you know what? It's funny. I saw your out of nowhere, just very kind words about my lecture, my upcoming New Year's Eve lecture. And I was like, oh man, you know what? I should definitely do an interview. That'd be so cool. So thank you for doing this, man. This has just been, I've just been busy working on the lecture and all the material more than anything.
Well, I know you've been really busy. So, you know, the fact that you've had time to come on here, I really appreciate it. And I know
my pleasure.
You've put a lot of time and effort into this lecture, right? This is not something that you've half-assed, that you've thrown together.
No.
This is something that you've spent a lot of time and effort.
Yeah. If you look at my cell phone, here, bring this one up. If you look at my cell phone, I was just on the notes and everything for the lecture. So wow. These are all effects that I have so far. It's going to be, this lecture is going to be at least 4 hours long.
Wow. That's incredible.
I'm bringing back some of the oldies and goodies, reworking them, showing some new ideas, new methods, new concepts with them. And then I'm bringing some new stuff to the table I've never published before, never shown anybody before. And then we're going to have, not only that, but we're going to have a jam session. I mean, it's ridiculous. We're going to go all the way up to 1 o'clock at 1 a.m., all the way through New Year's. And really one of the things, there are two reasons I wanted to do this. One, because I don't know. I think everybody is just in this party phase right now. Just party, 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 consume, consume, consume. And honestly, every single one of my New Year's Eve plans has either been I'm either working, doing a gig, or partying myself all the way up to, like, you know, years ago. And so now I kind of want to go, you know, I'm going to stay home. And I was thinking, well, stay home. What am I going to do? I want to share it with people. So I thought, well, what better way to put together a special New Year's Eve lecture?
That's amazing. That's absolutely. Yeah. And if people are working or they're busy, if you sign up for this lecture, I just want to make this clear, you can get the recording, can't you? I mean, you're going to get the
everything's being recorded. You're going to get every single thing. So if you have a gig or you have a job to do or whatever you're doing and you can't be with us, you can't join us, everything's being recorded. You're going to have it for the rest of your natural born life to watch over again.
But obviously the best way to do it is to not
to be there live.
You can be there live, right? Because then you can ask questions, you can interact, you can
yes,
you can clarify stuff. Yeah,
and it's really going to be like a workshop too. This is not just me going, here's me and here, whatever. I want to be there for you guys too. So, and there's not going to be any dumb questions. Anybody can ask anything. It's not going to be censored in any way. You know how I am. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be showing a lot of stuff that I've just never shown anybody, like the appearing bracelet I just showed you, and a lot of other cool little visual things.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you have been creating magic for as long back as I can remember, like for a very long time. I don't think that there's many people that has created as much magic as you. A lot of people don't realize.
No, they really don't. They have no fucking clue, do they?
They don't
really know who's behind a lot of stuff, do they?
They see this project here and that project there, but I mean,
right,
output is insane. Like I'd say it rivals Jay Sankey in terms of, except the quality control is higher. But I'm not dissing Sankey. We all know.
Apparently my background is better too. I was I did a lecture for some people in London or whatever. I don't know where this is during COVID. Me and Adam Wilbur, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we did 33 fucking lectures, free lectures we gave to magicians. It was insane, all the way from Africa to London to Ireland. Anyways, one of the people were like, yeah, your background's so much better than who we just had. I go, who'd you have? They go, Sankey. I go, why? What did he have? They're like, he was in his fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the greatest compliment ever. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
so yours is now the best compliment ever on top of the other Sankey one.
It's true, though. It's true. Your output is ridiculous. The quality.
I'm definitely not going to say no, and I'm not going to humble myself right now at all. I'm totally patting myself on the back. Yes, 100%. You're totally right, man. I think Wilson is another guy 100 who's like that too. Very prolific. Gregory Wilson. Yeah,
I agree.
For sure. Yeah.
I suppose the question is, when you think, right, okay, I'm going to put this new lecture together and I want to give people insane value.
Yeah.
And you said you're going to bring back some classics, but you've also got a whole bunch of new and published stuff.
Yeah.
How do you decide with your massive back catalog? How do you kind of go, right, okay, I'm going to do that one? Because I could literally just, off the top of my head, name 10 JM tricks genuinely that have changed the game. And that's just without thinking and actually sitting it down. Like, there's so much stuff that you've done that were game changers back in the day, right back to, right back to, you were the guy that made sleeving cool. Like, I mean, back in the day, right? You were the guy.
I was. You know? I dusted off sleeving for people. Yeah.
Yeah. And
crazy stuff, man. It's a great question. And I don't have an easy answer because I catalog everything. I have so many fucking videos of everything I've ever done because I film everything. I film everything I've ever worked on or idea. It might be bad, might be good, but I film everything. And so, like, and it's interesting. But here's another kind of point off of what you're asking too. Not only do you do that, but then how do you put a lecture package together with all that stuff? Like, how do you choose? So, like, I don't have any more of these, but I had these on my website. This is the New Year's Eve lecture package. And again, I'm not hawking these right now. We're just selling these because I don't have any more. But I chose Freedom Pack for obvious reasons. Freedom Pack is an award-winning effect that's been performed on national television. This paid for a lot of stuff for me and blessed me and Papa Paul and this relationship with Murphy's as well for a long time, and still is considered by people to be the best card in the box, right? Then firsthand, national television again, America's Got Talent. Smoothini did it on national television. I've got new ideas though with this. I'm going to be sharing with people at the lecture using playing cards, not just bills anymore, and some other stuff. Animate and Restore. This is a Jesse Feinberg product, but I had a new idea with it. And so I was thinking, well, what if I put this new idea with this? Great effect. Unfortunately, it just did not get the recognition it deserved. And so now I've modified the gimmick. I've done totally different things with the gimmick, and I've created a totally different feel for method that's so much easier, so much more silent. And I had to redesign each one of these, a ton of these. So I got that. Then I got this. This is a special secret thing that I can't show you. That's all that is. Legend. I mean,
the first time you and I ever met, which was
2007, 2008, 2008, right?
IBM Sam, yeah.
Kentucky SAM, that's right.
You were there and you showed me that, and you were holding court. There were like some huge names there, and we were all standing around, and you were there doing Legend, and you floored absolutely everyone there. And the entire convention, bearing in mind that at the time there was no convention that was bigger than this. I mean, they had
there wasn't.
And and I was on a booth, so I was like speaking to everybody. And all anyone could talk about was Legend. Like, do you have Legend? Where can you get Legend from? Legend. You can't fucking buy Legend nowhere. And I remember sitting in the bar with Simon Lovell, and because obviously where else would you be but the bar with Simon Lovell?
Absolutely.
And he was just like, everyone's talking about this Legend. Have you seen it? Like, I need to know what this is. Like, people need to understand that. Like, that was such a, that I talked about game changers. that's another thing that changed the game back in the day. It
Totally
really,
did. Yeah, Legend was. I'm still proud of Legend. And I've got, you get the gimmick, you get a deck, magic deck, plus all the new ideas that I have with this that I've never shown anybody. Using some bills and some rings and some other ideas. A match. So you take a match and you show a blank box and you light the match and you drop it in and you shake it. You hand it to them now. They shake it. Talk about resurrection. Talk about whatever you want. They open it up and the match is fully, completely restored. And what I love about it, there's still burn marks all around the inside of the box, right? Yeah. And you can examine the box and all that stuff. So a lot of cool little things. Taking it back to different ways of using the gimmick. It's not just a card gimmick, but it's also a very multi-purpose gimmick. And then Perception 2.0, me and Paul Harris put this out secretly a long time ago as Perception. We didn't hit the main markets, whatever, because I didn't want to. But this is this destroys people using Paul Harris's Vanishing Deck gimmick, as it's beautifully gave me permission to do. And so you got to remember, I make everything you see here. I've modified or made or done something with. These aren't just things that I go to a place like Murphy's, go, hey, give me these. I mean, this is my mod. This is a deck of cards that was made by me. You know what I mean? Like inside here. Yeah. And then the vanishing, the appearing and vanishing bracelet. And then one of my favorite, one of my all-time favorite routines is 3 blind dice. I'll be sharing that with you later here. But this is 2 in the hand, 1 in the pocket type thing, but with a dice feel. It's just really fun, new stuff. So like, that's a good point. Like, and so here's the other thing. All this stuff I just showed you, that's not all that's in the lecture. That could never cover 4 hours.
and that's the thing.
So how did I use? So I went back to all my videos and I looked at, and a lot of the stuff you're going to see, just new ideas I've never shown anybody, new moves and new sleights, new subtleties and little things that I gleaned from videos I've done before, that I've never shown anybody. They were my own personal videos. And then I look back at my coin work. So I kind of, compartmentalized everything. Okay, let's look at coin magic. Here's my history of coin magic. Here's card magic. Here's my history of card magic, mentalism, blah, blah, blah. So there's going to be a mixture of all that stuff combined in this one lecture.
It's amazing. And I want to pick up on something else that you said.
Yeah.
Which is the word mentalism. A lot of people don't think of Justin Miller as a guy that does mentalism, but because a lot of your commercial releases have been more visual, street magic, style of product. But you have created some amazing mentalism.
Thank
not
you
just
very,
mental
very
magic,
much.
but mentalism. I mean, you really have.
What's that?
I say not just mental magic either, but actual mentalism.
No, actual mentalism. Yeah. Not just mental magic. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, the whole mentalism thing came from the Magic Castle. And it also came from Andy Kaufman. I was inspired by Andy Kaufman. I've always been inspired by Andy Kaufman. It was a huge inspiration of me of how to perform it, how to make things weird and not really, don't give people the advantage of letting them off the hook. and mentalism is kind of like that. You don't let people off the hook at all. You just hit them with whatever the reveal is. There's no magic. You let people off the hook, right? So a lot of times, oh, that's not your card. Well, and you play this coy fucking magician messed up or whatever. So there's a lot of times within the context of magic routines, especially choreographing them and any kind of like pattern, there's a lot of off the hook moments. Mentalism doesn't give you off the hook moments. It's just, is that a 7? Oh my God, fucking 7. The fuck is going on? Or whatever it might be. Yeah, so like the mentalism stuff, how do I choose that? I have so much mentalism. I've never shown anybody, but I have a ton of stuff I've shown people because I did a whole year of mentalism, just one whole year. That was my goal. I just wanted to see if I could do it. I had 2 goals, honestly, well, 3 goals. The first goal was, could I create mentalism? Is it possible? It's a magician creator, known for a magician creator. Could I figure out a way to, strengthen my creative muscles and work on mentalism stuff? And that was hard because every time I think of a magic idea, I'd have to push it down the fucking pipeline during that time. Because I wasn't going to allow myself to get confused with what magic was and what mentalism is, right? So huge difference. And as you know, And so one of the things, so that was one of the things that was a challenge, and I'd have to push that off the side, just write it down or whatever, not even worry about it. And that's a stressful thing too. If you have all these crazy ideas that just go through your fucking head, like me, ugh, it's right. It's a fucking carnival in here, sir. Fucking Jesus. The people should have tickets like a pay-per-view show. You binge watch my brain, yeah, on Netflix. So that was a big challenge, right? A huge challenge. Second challenge, and this was a big one too. They were all big actually. They were huge. Fuck, there's one of the times I really set like 3 goals for myself that I just fucking nailed. I was so happy, and it was scary too. The second one was, could I get everybody in the magic world to believe this, or to accept it? And then on top of that, in that second challenge, how would the mentalism people accept me?
Yeah.
Would they accept me?
Yeah.
That was a huge fucking risk, man. And I was so thankful to have my just a beautiful, beautiful human being, Mark Salem. Mark Salem is one of the greatest mentalists I've ever fucking met in my entire life.
Agreed.
And I think we all agree to that. He's one of the greatest. I mean, there's so many others, but he is there. He is with Becker and fucking Earl and all those fucking guys, man. And he brought me in. He saw my first couple releases and he was like, holy shit. Whoa, Mr. Miller can do some mentalism. And the methods are diabolical. And so he brought me into other people in the mentalism crowd. And so that happened beautifully. And then the third one, could I put together a full one-man mentalism show and lecture? Show for the audience and lecture for the magicians. Could I do it? Could I do it? And I don't know how the fuck it happened, but I'll tell you right now, man. I remember that first goal, it started to get easier and easier to get ideas out of my head and think more mentalism ideas, more methods for those. And then the second one, yeah, they just accepted me. And then the magician crowd accepted that I was a mentalist at that point. That's what they said. Because again, it's taken from Andy Kaufman, I wasn't going to let people off the hook. So I had to lie. I had no choice. That was the character.
Yeah.
The character, I wasn't lying to people to hurt them, but I really had to see if this was, it's like what Andy did with the fucking wrestling and all that other stuff. You know, he's committed. You got to be committed. And so it solidified it when I was in, I was doing my Penguin lecture, right? The mentalism lecture, the only lecture that I've ever done and will ever do, by the way, on mentalism. And it was with Penguin, and I have a record of it now, and I have that beautiful footage, right? But on there, you know, Harlan asked me, he said, are you going to go back to magic? And I go, no, never. I don't see that happening ever again. Of course, I knew that was completely a lie. I wanted to give myself 1 year, October to October. And that's what I did. And I nailed every single one. Yeah. And you know what? It's funny. Are all the effects on there wonderfully, beautifully, and perfect? No, absolutely not. My first fucking attempt. But for my first fucking attempt, I don't think it was half bad.
And here's the thing: do you think that having that experience of spending a year performing, creating mentalism, do you reckon that helped you as a magician?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. I think after my divorce, I just started saying yes to things I didn't know about. Like when Wizard Wars called us and said, hey, do you want to be on the show? I could have easily just said no. I could have been like, it's not my time now. I don't want it, whatever. I said, absolutely yes. So I'm now one of those people that when someone says, hey, do this, or you want to, I'd love to do that. If I don't know anything about it, because I get to learn about it. The reason that I was able to do editing or learn about editing or video photography or any of that stuff is because Illusionist. Because Illusionist was the first company that I got behind the scenes and I got to see how it all worked. And that was at the cornerstone of this whole magic marketing game. The cornerstone.
Yeah.
Illusionist fucking started this shit. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And to be on top, to be at that level and to be where I was at that time and as a real fucking wet behind the ears still and all that stuff. It was such a great lessons to learn. And I've taken those lessons into my own little studio here and little things like that. So yeah, I highly suggest anybody, if they don't know anything about something, just do it. Just but you learn why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you do it? You know what I mean? So the mentalism thing really helped because you're not relying anymore on sleights. You're not relying anymore on the visual aspect of things. A lot of times with mentalism, you're relying more on the mind. You're relying on pattern. You're relying on human connection and touch. You're relying on body language. You're relying on all this stuff. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, anchoring, all that stuff. You're relying on so many other different tools than you are with a card trick or with a coin trick or with a hot rod or whatever magic trick you're doing. And you have to, and you really hone those skills. So you learn that if you don't have those skills, or if you don't have those skills where you wanted them and you thought you had them, it's a great way to jump in and go, oh shit, maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was in this area. And so, and you have to be honest with yourself too. That's the other thing that mentalism did for me. You just got to be honest with yourself, man. Either you can do this or you can't do this. And if you can't do it, stop fucking pretending you can.
Yeah.
You know, because again, mentalism doesn't take you, let you off the hook ever.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your views before we move on? What's your views on people that mix magic and mentalism? I get this question on the channel an awful lot. Can you do a performance, whether it be a close-up performance or a show? Can you mix hardcore mentalism and magic in the same show? Does one take away from the other?
Yeah, you absolutely can. And I've thought long and hard about this ever since I've been able to look at a coin or pick up a coin when I was a kid or anything, and knowing what mentalism was when I was able to know all that stuff. And I thought, when you first get into magic, you first get into mentalism, and you first get into these mystical arts, you become a purist. A lot of people are just purists, right? I'm only going to do things with 4 coins, no gimmicks. I'm not a gimmick guy. I don't do gimmicks, right? Ugh, I used to be that guy. I'm a purist. What's the coins? No double stick tape for me, thank you. And then as I grew and grew in the art and grew in my understanding, grew in my knowledge, and grew in my experience, I was talking to Chris Korn about this, and at a convention when I was very, very young. It's probably about 13 or 14 years old. And Chris goes, he goes, you're missing the point. Why wouldn't you use gimmicks with sleight of hand, combine them together? Why would you cheat your audience of the best possible thing you could do visually and aesthetically? I'm like, oh, fuck. That's a good point. And it changed immediately, right? So that was my first kind of way of looking at things in that era. Then as I got older and older, much wiser within the art, I would see people fight over this magic mentalism thing. I'm a magician. Oh, I'm just a mentalist. Neither the two shall meet. That kind of thing. And I thought to myself, well, what would Merlin think about that if he was a real person in the first place and alive? He was a wizard. And a wizard could read minds. A wizard could change the nature around it. A wizard could float things, levitate things, suspend things themselves if they needed to. A wizard would be able to take a piece of silver and turn it into gold. A wizard would be able to do all these things and still just be called a fucking wizard. You wouldn't be like, hey, he's fucking Harry down the street. He's got some new books of spells over here. Now he thinks he's a fucking, nobody would do that. And we got to remember, these are, if we look at ourselves as wizards, because that's what we are, that's what mentalists are, and that's what magicians are. We're wizards, but the strict definition of the word, then we should be able to do all these things. And why would you limit yourself to just being a magician or just being a mentalist? Why wouldn't you open yourself up to this entire world to give the best possible audience experience?
Yeah.
So I've changed my mind to that completely. And Chris Korn helped me do that when I was younger.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
what, that's
Yeah.
what, that's such a great answer to that question. Oh, so it's something that I get asked an awful lot, and it is true. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. I mean, why would you limit yourself? And that, not just to people, but why would you limit yourself to what you can do?
Mm.
Makes no sense to me. So can I read your mind? Yeah, I can do that. Can I bend spoons? Yeah, I can fucking bend spoons. Can I do a, that's the reason that the reason we have all these magic tricks is because of this idea of spells, books of spells from the long past and folklore and fucking witches and all that shit. Because that's what they are. They're individual spells that create something for the moment, right? That's why we have card tricks and coin tricks and mental and all this other stuff. So we have to stop looking at it as two separate things and have this fucking weird bickering fucking moment that I guess, you know, it fills blogs and fucking forums, I guess, whatever. And then we can come together as an actual community of wizards, a community of these spell givers, if you will, spell sharers. And there wouldn't be all that bullshit anymore. But people like to have labels. I don't know, fucking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So back to the lecture, because we get sidetracked, which is good because
yeah, lecture. We're doing a lecture. I'm doing a lecture.
So yeah, but back to the lecture. So
Yeah.
you've gone through your entire back catalog,
Yeah.
and you found like what you consider to be some of the best creations, whether that be cards, that could be coins, that be mentalism, plus a whole bunch of unpublished stuff as well. So for somebody who knows your material, they are a full-on JM fan, will they still get something out of this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be doing some coin box stuff too. I've never shown you guys any coin box stuff.
I didn't even know you did coin box stuff.
I know, see, you literally just answered we just answered that question. Yeah. You be like, and I know you put it in general, but that was so perfect. I do coin box. You're like, I didn't even fucking know you do coin boxes.
So cool.
Yeah, to answer your question, you absolutely do more than coin boxes, but yeah, absolutely.
Can I switch to the other cam? Can you show us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would that be okay?
Sure.
I'm gonna just switch it up a bit. And yeah, if there's anything that you can show us, because I'm already sold. I know everyone is already sold, but
I appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. Yeah, let's do some stuff here real quick. Let's see. Can you hear this perfectly?
Yeah, that's great, man.
Perfect. Good. I don't want to be too loud for everybody. I know how that could that's another thing, learning this whole process through COVID. That's a good point. Through COVID, right? Had no idea what we were going to do. No idea what the setup was going to be. This was a blank fucking wall. There was none of this shit here. It was nothing. Our very first lecture me and Adam did, it was over here. This was over here. I mean, there was nothing. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I knew what the vision was. I knew what I wanted to have. I wanted magic all behind me.
Yeah.
Everywhere was magic. I don't care how it looked or whatever. I just wanted magic. I had somebody even paint this for me. This is they fucking did this. Fucking, have you ever seen that?
That's great.
Show the other, yeah, do the other camera.
Yeah. Look at that. That's great. I love that.
Isn't that crazy? And I told her, I said, listen, do not tell me what you're going to do. And I'm not going to give you any direction that I want you to do. And she sent me that. How cool was that? All by hand.
Brilliant.
So that's another way of just saying, like, I didn't know what I was doing, so I just decided to do it. And here we are, you know. But you mess with all this stuff and you make sure it looks good. All right, so let's try something here. So, did you know I do tricks with chips?
I've seen some stuff with chips, but not many.
Yeah. These are worth 300. It looks like. I don't know if you've seen these. Yeah, have you seen these before?
Yeah,
clay chips. The clay chips. Magic's interesting. This is what I do for a living. I do magic, right? It's interesting because it's a game of cat and mouse sometimes, right? You have to believe what I'm telling you, and if the story's not good, then the fucking everything looks horrible, right? So, for instance, you have to believe. Sorry, you have to believe that I have 3 chips there.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if I told you I'm going to make these chips disappear right now, how would I do that? Obviously, they're just still here. So a magician would do something like this. They'd pick up the chips. They'd show you the empty hand. They'd place them inside. And then they ask you the question. It's a simple question, Craig. You've actually heard it before your entire life. How many coins? How many chips?
There were 3.
There were 3, but it wasn't those 3. It was these 3 that I was talking about.
Oh,
Now we can start. Now we can start. Now we can start. 3 coins.
that's ridiculous. I love that.
So what I like about this, I have a lot of coin productions I'm going to show you guys during the lecture. I have a coin production where you come out with a close-up pad. You place it down. There's nothing on it. You go like this, you come over, you let go, and there's 4 coins on the pad instantly.
Boom. That's great.
It's so much fun. I love magic where it's not what they think it's going to be, ever. I love M. Night Shyamalan magic. Shyamalan, you know what I mean?
I love that. I've never heard that before, but that's a perfect description.
I'm coining it right now. I'm coining it. I love surprise M. Night Shyamalan magic. That's the kind of magic I love. It's because they think it's going somewhere. They know it's going somewhere, but they have no idea where it's going to go, right? So for instance, there's a classic trick that I put out with Illusionist. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called Neo Coin Matrix.
I don't think I have, no.
It's a fun coin matrix. It uses just 3 coins. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to show you the evolution of it.
Okay.
To where now I got this really cool, neat thing to do with it. And so the idea is you just have 3 coins and you have 1 playing card, obviously. 3 coins, 1 playing card. We're going to do some magic. Place the card there. Coins. Oh, we'll just use, I'll use 1. There we go. Perfect. And the first coin just vanishes completely. Now, it doesn't go far. It really doesn't go far. You're probably thinking it's inside the hands or something like that. No. Say the playing card. It's better that way. That's 2. There's the 1. Simple one. We'll do this one more time. As slow as I can. As slow as I can. Second coin. Boom. There's the second coin. Leaving just 1. And that's 2. Now, let's do this very, very slow. That's 1. That's 2. And watch closely the last one. Oh, sometimes it backfires and they all go back the other side. So that's the Neo Coin Matrix. That's the Neo Coin Matrix. And then I was like, during COVID, I came up with a totally different version because, again, this is a non-gimmick version, right? And so when I come up with a gimmick version, I'll come up with like 3 or 4 different non-gimmick versions. Or I'm sorry, when I come up with a gimmick version, I'll come up with like 3 or 4 non-gimmick versions. When I come up with like a non-gimmick version, I'll come up with like 3 or 4 gimmick versions.
Yeah.
And so the first one was called Neo Coin Matrix from the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
And this one's called, Mr. Anderson. This one's
okay. I love it. Yeah.
Mr. Anderson. So the idea is very, very simple. Is these 3 coins are going to travel from one part of this area to another. We'll use the playing card. They'll travel underneath the playing card. That's the way we're going to do this. So watch. Just 3 coins. Nothing more, nothing less. And you've been holding these coins. You examined them earlier, right? Most people would have at that point. There's the first one. Completely gone. Haven't done anything yet. There's the first one. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That leaves just 2 coins. You can see those 2 coins. Nothing funny, nothing phony about any of this. Watch. I'll slide it right there. There's the 2 coins. People think I'm doing some weird stuff right here when I go like this and it vanishes here. They go, it's in the other hand. I'm like, come on, what are you doing? Why would I do that to you? I would never do that to you. I told you they're going to go underneath here. That's 2 coins. I thought I explained this. Watch, we'll do this one more time. Now you see how it's very similar so far, right? But there's a gimmick being used, right? And so now here's what's fun. Before with the other one, I wasn't able to show a coin at the end. With this one, you absolutely can show a coin right there.
Yeah.
You can see it there. leaving just one here. Now watch well, sometimes they backfire. They all go the other way. So now that uses a gimmick version, right? So a totally different feel, same kind of effect, but you can show that last coin now.
That's great.
I'm really proud of that. Yeah, I'm really proud of that. It's really fun. Here's what's really fun too. How many coins?
2.
Cool, 2. There's 1, and there's 2. Just shake. There you go. You can hear them go.
That's brilliant.
I suggest, listen, everybody needs a savant. Everybody needs a savant. I don't know why you would not work without a savant. They're
and you know
amazing.
what? That's why I love you. You have a whole bunch of stuff that you create that's like super practical. You don't need a table. You can do it in the harshest conditions.
Yeah.
But then you're not afraid to revisit classics and use techniques that.
Well, you got to remember, I'm literally I'm trained classically.
Yeah.
I'm trained Slidini. I'm trained Goshman. I'm trained fucking Card Cloutier. I'm trained with Matt Schulian and fucking all those guys and the precursor guys and let's see, Wells. You know, my very first mentor was Dale Penn. What's his name? Oh my God. What did he do? He did, oh my God, I cannot believe it. I forgot his name. He did with the bird and everything and the
I know
table.
who you mean. Yeah, I know who you mean.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. He was my very first mentor. And I'm so sorry. I forgot your name, brother. God damn it. Anyways, we'll figure it out. But these guys physically like helped me in different levels. You know what I mean? I got to meet a lot of these people. And those are the books I have in my library. I have those books. So I think it's, and this is one of the things to the lecture too. It like you just said, it shows a totally different side of me that you guys have never really seen before.
That's great. That's great.
Because I grew up performing, on the ground or at tables at conventions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With magicians around and we're all fucking doing, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just bringing that back feels so good. It just feels so good. And I've created a lot of and revisit a lot of classics through COVID, and a lot of that stuff's going to be in the lecture.
That's amazing.
It's one of my favorite things, by the way, this little moment here. And what you're doing is you're using sound. I'm going to be talking about sound a lot in the lecture. I have a lot of different ways of using sound. During a routine of my cylinder and coins, which is regular coins, there's a part where the coins go into the hand. And of course, you can hear the coins as you shake the hand. And see, sound is so important. It's just it's a killer thing to do. Little things too, little things. So like with this, there was already one coin inside the savant. I know people say savante, but it's a savant. So what I'm doing is as I come here, I'm literally clicking this underneath, and I come here and I click it one more time. I have those 2 coins now underneath here. Now, all I have to do when I lift up, it sounds like the 2 coins hit each other, but they're really falling into here at the exact same time.
That's great.
And so you get this real visual moment. Another great little thing to do. You can take one coin like this, literally place it inside, boom, it's gone.
Wow. All
savant types, just all this kind of stuff, all weird stuff, all very interesting things. Another thing, I love this, dude. This is a great way to open up, by the way. So you saw the way to open up with the 3 boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Here's another great way. Have the coins in finger palm as you're talking and then throw.
Oh my God, that looks so good.
Look how visual that is. It's ridiculous.
That is so good.
And so the sound of these dropping is muted by the sound of, and you get the visual aspect to it as well. So there's a lot of different ways of using sound that I'm going to be teasing and going through in the lecture that people have never thought of or looked at. So I'm pretty excited about it.
That's awesome.
And so that's just some coin stuff for you. Here's have I ever shown you this? Three blind dice.
I think you have, but it's incredible. Please do it again. It's
I
so
was
good.
so happy with how many I sold. And again, I make all this stuff. I put the whole kits together. I do the whole thing. I don't have help. There's nobody to help me. Help me, Henry. Love dice. The dice is one of my favorite things to do when I'm if I go gambling for any reason. It's always been a passion of mine. Dice. I love looking at them. I love everything about them. But they're weird. They're very strange creatures. This is kind of an interesting thing. Sir, if you would hold out your hand. If you were here, by the way, you would pick this up, and you would drop those two inside, and I would hand that to you. Yeah. You say, watch this. This is really weird. If I squeeze just a little rub, there it is. See, look how crazy that looks. But did you feel it? And then they'd say no. They dump it out. Boom. There's your three dice, right? But people, you know what's the problem, Petty? People think it's the bag. It's the bag. It's not the bag. It's the guy. Let me show you what I mean. We'll play a little game. Ready? Very simple game. Very simple game. 1, 2. 2 go in the hand. Yeah, 2 go in the hand. Actually, you know what? Here, do this. 1 goes in the pocket. How many's here?
2.
I can do this one more time for you. These dice are kind of weird. I told you that. I did tell you that before. Let's do it again. Look, 2 dice here. 1 goes into the pocket. How many in the hand?
2.
All right. Maybe it was the bag before. Who knows? I don't know what's happening. Listen. Can I tell you how this is done?
Yeah.
It's actually really, really simple. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. So what I'm doing is when I take these 2 dice and I place them into the hand and I place this one in the pocket, I'm not really putting it in the pocket. See, I'm keeping it into like a little thing there. Do you see that? We call that a dice fucking thing. I don't know if that's the technical word, but I keep it there when you're not looking. I go, oh, look what time it is. And then I just steal it, put it back inside. So now you know.
Right, yeah.
3 dice. Now, if I were to really take one out, though, just one, and I really put it in my pocket, how many would honestly probably at some point be there?
Well, there's meant to be 2, but knowing you, there's 3.
No, it's 1, but it's the big one. It's the yeah, it's the big one. It's the big one. And you know what's important though? Like I said, I do love the game of dice, so you need a second one just in case. Yeah, get lucky.
Man, that is such a commercial routine.
Totally commercial. Yeah, that's when I remember putting it together. People were like, "Dude, this is a commercial routine. This is a restaurant routine. This is a anywhere you go routine. It brings everybody together. It's not a card trick. It's not a coin trick. It's something everybody knows what the fuck it is, and it uses a mystical bag that has nothing to do with the trick, but then it feels like it does for the first part."
Amazing.
Thanks, man.
Amazing. That's so good.
That's part of the package too. People who bought, they get that. That's part of the package.
Obviously, you can't get any more packages. You've got more left.
I only made 16. I was going to make 20, but I only made 16.
But if somebody signs up to be a part of the lecture, it's not like they're not going to be able to make this stuff up themselves. Like you'll teach them how to.
Absolutely, 100%.
And they can make this
and
up.
They get the lecture. Remember, they get all fucking 4 hours or whatever it's going to be in their library. They're going to have it for themselves. And this is another point to make. I'm just going to put it out there just so I usually don't keep this stuff for myself, but I charge $250 to $500 for a 30-minute phone call for consultation of something. Okay, I charge anywhere between usually, if it's private lessons and personal lessons, it could be anywhere between $75 to $100 for 30 minutes to a half an hour, depending on what people want, depending on what their own needs are, right? All that stuff. I charge $1,000 for 3 hours for consulting for a gig, for like America's Got Talent or for like a Fool Us or one of those people. This is only $40.
Yeah, so if people haven't got, obviously your lecture packages have gone now, but if people sign up to be in the lecture, that there's nothing here that they couldn't make up themselves. Like 3 blind dice, for example, if you're gonna go through everything and they're gonna be able to make this up themselves, right?
Absolutely, yeah. If they want to do that, they get full permission to do that. When I put it up 3 blind dice during COVID, it was sets that together and everything. But no, people have permission to do that with anything in this lecture. That's another thing I want to point out is that, I usually charge, I never actually tell people this, but I really want people to understand the value of what they're getting. I usually charge $1,000 for 3 hours of consultation work. If I'm doing something for like somebody for AGT, or if I'm doing something for somebody for like Fullest or some kind of TV show or whatever it is. This is $40 for 4 hours, and maybe more than 4 hours, by the way. Who fucking knows as we go into the night? Again, there's going to be a jam session. So anything you want to learn, anything that you want to work on or show me or anything like that, we're going to be able to do that. It's not just going to be a lecture. It's really going to be a workshop too.
That's amazing. That's
yeah.
amazing.
And $40, I wanted to make it really affordable.
Well, that is affordable. Like that.
People have spent $40 on a shitty trick they'll never do again.
Yeah.
You're going to get 4 hours of magic that I promise you're going to find at least 9 items you're going to do.
Yeah.
You saw the list. I mean, it's ridiculous already. And that list is not done, by the way, not in any form or fashion. No, there's some things on there that I don't want on there that I looked at again today. And I was like, no, I want to add this to this and all that stuff. So I'm still refining. I'm still going through it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're going to show me something.
You want to see a card trick?
Yeah, I want to see a card trick.
I was going to show you a shot glass trick, but we'll do that later.
Well, let's do both.
Do you know, it's interesting. One of my favorite things to do is my brain for some reason likes to create imaginary models in my head of social society and structures of how societies work and just kind of like projections of what the future will be if this path is continued to take by humanity, those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
I also do card tricks. That's the boring part though. That whole space stuff. And one of the things I've noticed more than anything is the way humans collect data. It's very fascinating because it's changed over the years. It's actually changed over in the past 10 years. Excuse me. And the reason it's changed is because of AI. We are now collecting data, however you want to pronounce it, in a faster, much faster way than we ever did before. And unfortunately, we miss a lot of things because we're not able to take everything in. And I was thinking, what would that look like in a trick? And so this is the trick called data, or missing data, I like to say. For instance, most people, when they handle a deck of cards, and they go, we're going to play some euchre. Come on, Kathy, get in here. Get the kids to bed. All right, let's get some euchre. You know what I mean? Or they're going to play, it's a card game, it's a poker game. It's spades. Mm-hmm. It's go fish. It's a lot of different things. But I see these cards differently because of the data and the data that I take in. For instance, I see them in pairs, not the fruit pairs, but the pairs. Let me give you an example. So if I asked you what the pair of this, so what would the mate be to this? And what I mean by mate, it would be the exact card, the exact color, but the different. So, and then I would ask them, do you know clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds? And then usually they go, oh, it would be the spade. A lot of people just go hearts, or they might even say jack or whatever. And I go, no, it'd be the king of spades. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, for instance, how about this one? The three of hearts. Craig, what would you say?
That'd be the three of diamonds.
The three of diamonds. That's exactly right. And this card here.
The five. That's a club. That's a spade, right? So
no, it's a club.
It's a club. So the five of spades.
Okay, and this card.
That's a seven. Yeah, seven of diamonds.
So that would be the seven of diamonds. You understand, right? Yeah. You understand. So we're gonna play a game, you and me. Okay. And if you were here, by the way, I'd ask you to shuffle the cards. Obviously, since you're not here, I have to do it myself. But you're going to tell me when to start shuffling, when to stop shuffling, everything. You ready? Go.
Okay, stop.
No, I did. I mean, I got to the end there. I don't know what else to do with that. And we'll do one more just for the heck of it.
Stop.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Great. Now, the top card of the deck we're going to use at this point, okay? And I want you to tell me what the mate to this card is. Just tell me what the mate to this card is.
Is that a jack? That's a
It
jack.
is. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't show it to you. There you go.
So jack of diamonds.
Jack of diamonds. Perfect. Now, this is where you come in. You would take the deck right now. You would shuffle the cards completely. You would cut them. You would do anything you would like, sir. In fact, you tell me what to do at this very moment. How would you like me to shuffle or cut these cards? And whenever you're done with your process, we're going to leave that deck in that position.
Okay, just give them one riffle shuffle.
Hey, a little riffle shuffle over here, huh?
Uh-huh.
Beautiful, huh? Little riffle. There we go. Is that it?
I'm happy with that, yeah.
There's about 53, maybe 50, 51 cards in this deck, I think. I've used the cards for different things. Give me a number.
21.
21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 19. Do you remember what this trick was called? Data? Missing data? Have you missed it? You probably have already. What was that, 19?
Yeah.
Did I confuse you? I didn't see.
Oh,
look at that.
Yeah, that was 19.
But you knew when to stop there, right? Because like, mother, you're not going to get me, motherfucker. There's 19, right?
Yeah.
Sure, that wasn't 18.
No, that was 19.
So the data that you collected there completely coincides with where you said, okay, so that's 19. This is 20. Is this 21?
Yeah.
This is 21. Perfect. I'm so excited. I got to be honest with you. I want to see how you did. I want to see if you collected all the data at the exact same time, hopefully. So remember, we were looking for the mate to the Jack of Hearts.
Yeah, Jack of Diamonds, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, see, this is why it's called missing data, right? That's horrible. Do I not crimp the card? I'm not going to be doing this on the lecture, by the way. God damn it. Fuck. Oh, no. Remember I said missing data.
Yeah.
You've been missing the data, but I didn't tell you where it was. It's been hiding in plain sight the entire time. That would be the Jack of Diamonds. And that would be the Three of Clubs.
Oh, man, that's great.
And if you really saw where the data was going, you would know that there was no other data to begin with.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Not any at all.
That's incredible.
Oh, thanks, man.
And that's all examinable, right?
There's no gimmicks whatsoever.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. This has gone through a big evolution. I'll talk about this in the lecture more, but this came from an idea that I'd worked on where I used to keep the 2 cards in the box, and then I called serendipity, and then I would open this up, but I would use a regular deck of cards, and it still got a powerful response. But man, started using it with a blank deck, and god damn, does it get a crazy response. That blank deck, as you know, wink, wink. That blank deck moment for people really is a strong moment. It really is.
Well, it's because people have never seen cards like that before.
No.
And then when they say, and they just, when they see something like that, it doesn't compute.
Not at all. They go, wait, cards are blank?
You know what? It's like having, two things that I love about your magic that just you personify all the time. The one is you really think about your presentational hook. Like every single time you go into a trick or an effect, there's always a lead in that draws me in before anything even happens. And that's something that every single person should learn from you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's so true. And then the second thing is, I love how a lot of your magic is multi-layered at the end. Like there's more than one finale. A lot of the time it's like, well, look, this, now this, now this, now this. And it's almost like beating them up with magic, and it's
just destroying them as much, taking their frontal lobe and just killing it. And again, studying under the classics, studying under the greats, It's a Dingle moment. It really is. Dingle loved those kind of things. He loved, you always knew when you watch a Dingle trick, you're like, all right, there's gonna be 7 fucking destroy your brain moments.
Yeah, man.
And that definitely seeped off in me. There's no question. I mean, I love those. Are we this one or this one? Sorry.
At the moment, we're on the main one.
Okay, cool. So we've been on the main one this whole time. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
I'm just looking over here for no reason. Yeah, it really it made a difference in my magic, watching Dingle and watching him perform and how he structured routines. That was a huge part of my growing up in magic. I just got to see all these people in different ways, and then I was able to really dissect what I loved about them and what what didn't vibe with my own stuff, and that's a hard thing to do. It really is. I mean, one of the biggest things for a magician just getting in, or not just getting in, somebody who's been in it for a long fucking time, they're still trying to find their voice, man, because magic has such an amazing strength and pull cosmically that it's connected to so many other worldly ideas, and the idea of magic and the word magic, that you really are part of this huge fucking family of like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And how do you're a star amongst the galaxy. How do you shine? How do you shine? And how do you show people that you're important or wanted or needed or whatever? And that's a hard thing for people to find their voice in that. But the beautiful thing about magic, though, as well, is that it has enough of a void when you get in it. And I don't mean void, not a lot of people or anything, but I mean, there's enough of a void that you can have your own voice because you're using these tools. These are just tools. These are just, this is a hammer and this is a knife, or this is a screwdriver. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so how your brain connects to these items and to how you see the world through these items and through your own self. There's a lot of room for that in magic, but unfortunately, our magic teachers don't really teach those things to people. No, I do. All my, it's peppered in all my stuff. It's peppered in all my projects.
It really is. And you know what? I mean, as somebody who's created so much magic, and we've never really talked about this before, even on the first interview we did, how do you find your inspiration? Because, I speak to a lot of people on this channel, and they ask me a lot of questions. And one thing that a lot of magicians find when they're trying to create something is that mental block, that almost magic version of writer's block. You seem to have this innate ability to just sit there and come up with 15 really good ideas.
I'm glad it looks like that.
Sure as hell looks like that from my
yeah. No, it's boy, this is one of those things it's one of those, if I could bottle this and just give it away, I would never charge for this kind of knowledge. If you could, really just put in a bottle and everybody would have it. I mean, I could give the cheesy fucking, and I wouldn't say cheesy, but the universal, life teaches you things if you look around, and that's true, 100%. When I was a kid, I would just, I'd sit at movie theaters in front, or I'd sit at malls, the places where you get food, like the food court and stuff. And I just would watch people. I would just watch people all the time and watch how they acted. I watch how they responded when someone said something to them, part of their group, or I saw how they looked at other people. I just watched human beings. And I've always said this. I said, in order to be a good magician, not a great magician, but a good magician, you need to be a great human. And I don't mean morally. That's not what I mean. I don't mean that. I mean, you need to be well aware of what a human is and how humans think and their mindsets and stuff like that. Again, this is my fucking brain. It just does this shit. I have no fucking clue how it does it. It just does it. And so what I do, one of the things that's really important, that kind of, because the whole idea is to foster creativity somehow, right? And how do you do that? So leaving objects out in front of you all the time Like, if you look at this, it would look like a mess to other people, but not at all to me. To me, it's just another, oh, I had an idea with this. I should put this, I'm going to put this with this next time. Okay. I look at the items and I go, okay, boom, 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 boom. Music helps a lot too. Yeah. Like I said before, yeah, just fostering creativity, music, journaling. I just got into journaling again. I haven't done journaling forever. And I just started doing it again. And oh my God, what a difference that makes to get all this crazy stuff out of my head onto paper again, you know? Because we've been so used to just filming stuff now, just film. To pick up pen, to put to paper, to parchment is an amazing journey. So I highly suggest people do that. And it also helps you collect your thoughts, you know? I think more people need to do that. As far as me coming out with 15 items and this, and that's just prolific. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a real skill, but you also, you know, people don't, again, I think not everybody realizes just how fucking well read you are. Like, you know, you know so much stuff. You've read so many books. You know, I've spoken to you in the past, and you're like, there's a move that you probably haven't used for 15 years that you can immediately recall.
Yeah, I know what page number it's on. I know exactly what it is.
So you've got this base of knowledge that you just call on when you need it, which is, you know, I've spoken to other magicians and they're like, oh, if I haven't got a use for this move, I'm not going to learn it. Whilst your kind of thing seems to be, I'm going to learn everything because I know at some point I'm going to have a use.
I need to be able to use it somehow. It's a tool that somebody created, obviously, for something. And so, you know, maybe I can't use it for that very moment, but you know, you know, years later, you have a trick and you're like, fuck, what could I use? Oh yeah, that fucking move, that one, that'd be perfect for this. It's just like a person who's building a house or a plumber, and he goes, oh yeah, I need this tool. Yeah, this would be a perfect tool to use this in. And you gotta understand too, I grew up in books. That's all I had. That's all we had. We had books, we had libraries. There was no internet. There was nothing like that. So books, I treasure books because books are just that. And let's be honest, you know, writing a magic book is one of the hardest fucking things to do. It's just to be able to describe just this thing, this idea, putting a coin in your hand, to put that into paper and pen is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because you're going to pick up the coin with your left, you have to say, you got to say left hand and right forefinger. Take it by the tip. Which tip? I guess it doesn't matter. Fuck it. And you're reading all this stuff. You're going to place the coin in the palm of your hand, but make sure it's near the third phalange. This is how it wrote. And you're like, the fuck third? Okay. And then as soon as your pinky touches, this is when you do the move. Like, and you have to describe the move though. Like with video, I can just go, you know, you take it here, whatever, you're going to, it's easier. It's way easier to be able to describe something through visual aspects of it. But to write a magic book or to read a magic book, it was like, it's daunting sometimes. Let's be fucking real. It's like reading Leviticus in the Bible. It's just like, oh my God, I get it. People had sex, move on. Fucking, there's a lot of begats in the Bible. There just really is. This person begat this person. This person begat this. The whole Leviticus is almost like that. And Numbers is too. Numbers is crazy. There's my biblical knowledge. See, you won't get that with any other lecture. You're gonna get anti-theist pastor, ex-pastor Justin. Talking about a coin trick. We talk about the Bible. It's crazy. And that's another thing. How would you describe this? Because that's the whole point of a retention vanish. It's a retention of light. How do you describe that in a book for a 13-year-old, for a 15-year-old, for, you know what I mean? And so it wasn't easy. It never was easy. And so a lot of my creativity came from not really seeing what they were trying to write. And then I would just come up with something that fit me, that looked that way, and it worked. It just always worked.
You're absolutely right. The amount of times that I've read a book I've learned a trick, I've done it for years, and then I've seen the creator do it, and it's a completely different thing. And I'm like, well, I obviously read this wrong, but it works for me, you know.
It's a great, I have a great story. I don't know if I've told this before. I hope I didn't. If I did, maybe this will be for people who have never heard it. So I was about, I don't know, probably 11 years old, 10 or 11, right? And I was going to my very first magic club meeting, right? IBM Sam, or I'm sorry, IBM Sam, IBM Ring 11 or Ring 7 here in Columbus, Ohio. And I walk in, and young pup, right? Loving magic, but no idea that there was this whole other world of what I was about to experience. And the very first person I was greeted by was George Kirkendall. Do you remember George Kirkendall?
Do, yeah.
George was the guy that you went to for any gaff coins or any gaff reels or anything. There was no Jamie Schoolcraft. There was no fucking any of these other people. There was nobody. There was no Roy Cooper. It was George Kirkendall. And George lived in Ohio, and he was a famous magician, very famous magician. And everybody bought his reels and coins. Everybody did. And he goes, hey, well, and he dressed, he always dressed, I don't even know how old he was at that time. Fuck, who knows? I don't even know. I mean, I thought he was like 90 at that time, but he probably wasn't. But I'm 11, right? So it probably felt that way. He dressed, in a real nice speakeasy suit and just like 1940s kind of suit with a vest and handlebar mustache, right? That character. And then he goes, come here, son, what's your name? Justin, Hey, you ever seen one of these? He takes out his silk, right? Goes like this. Boom, vanishes. Gone. No fucking clue how he did it. No fucking clue how he did it. Now remember, at this time, my very first bug for magic was 5 years old. My dad showed me a card trick when I was 5 years old. Remember that. But during that time, I wasn't really into magic all that time from 5 to 11. I really wasn't. But around 11 years old, that's when everything just kind of clicked for me and turned everything around. And I showed me this, and I had no fucking clue where it went. And it was my first IBM meeting. It was, oh my God, it was just amazing, right? So I went home, and I thought to myself, how do you do that? How do you do that? How is that possible? And so I came up with what I thought he did. And so and inadvertently I'd made my very first pull. Didn't even know what a fucking pull was. And so I took a true story, man. And I put a lot of passion towards this. So I knew at that very moment, this was something very special to me. The magic was going to be. I didn't know how special, but I knew something. You just felt it. You know what I mean? And I took a what's it called? A toilet paper tube, right? Cut it in half. And then I took a napkin and a paper towel, and then I wrapped it around one end of the toilet paper tube with rubber bands, right? So it covered, okay? And it's about this size. It's about this size, maybe this size. It fit my fucking hand. So I was younger then, my hand was smaller. Who knows? Maybe it was this fucking size. I don't know. Anyways, and then I took a paper clip and I bent it and I put it in between the toilet paper roll. So it was like a pail at this point, right? Little carrying case. And then I put a rubber band at the end, and then I put a safety pin. And so I put this in the back of my jacket. Yeah, I was 11 years old. I had suit jackets. Absolutely, 100%. I was in, man. I wanted to be a magician, dude. I wanted to be a performer. I wanted to be an entertainer of some sort. And so I had these little jackets and stuff. It was so cute. And so I took a silk, because I just had gotten for Christmas the deluxe Houdini magic set. So much. I remember that so vividly. If I could find that again, I would want to buy one. But I bet they don't make them anymore. It was a part of that and the Blackstone magic set. Those are two main magic hits that were part of my fucking growing up. Anyways, so I took the silk and I worked this whole thing out where I grabbed it and I did this. And then I let it go back in the jacket, and it looked fucking great. And I'm like, yeah, that's how he did it. I can't wait to show him, right? So I went back the next month. Hey, you remember that trick? And I was like, yeah, I think I think, can I show you how I think? Yeah. And I did everything and boom, boom, boom. And he goes, you look at you. You found out you get one of those, huh? You went to a magic shop. He took his fucking thumb off. I was like, wow, what's going on? And I was like, what is that? He goes, it's a fake thumb. This is where the silk goes. I'm like, what? He goes, wait, what do you have? And he grabbed me and he's like, where's your thumb tip? I go, I don't have a thumb tip. It's called a thumb tip? Now remember, I'm 11 years old. There's this old guy grabbing my hands going, where the fuck is the thumb tip?
It's hilarious.
And then I showed him what it was. And he got a guy. I remember, I might cry. George was such a special person to me. I remember looking at him and I saw a little gleam in his eye. And he goes, come here, kid. Come with me. I want to introduce you to some people. And then he introduced me to everybody that were the secret magicians in the club, you know, the people that sat in the back and didn't talk to everybody until later on. And that's when the real jam session happened, when everybody fucking left, you know, that stuff. And I remember being introduced into the tribe at that very age. Yeah, because I didn't know how it was done. I fucking thought, you know, here's how I would do it.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, I was 11 years old, man. It was really fun. It was cool. Yeah, but I was very fortunate to just be a part of a good group of people that cared about me magic wise too.
Do you think that, because the trouble with magic clubs these days is a lot of them have gone downhill. There's a lot of older guys, the younger guys that are coming into magic aren't really going into the magic clubs. Mm-hmm. They're kind of online. Do you think that like younger people that are kind of doing everything online and on Facebook or Instagram or wherever it may be, or Reddit, do you think they're missing out on something by not actually going to regularly to magic clubs and just kind of doing everything online and YouTube and then just occasionally going to a lecture? Or do you think this life evolves and they're still fine and it doesn't matter?
Oh, it totally matters. It 100% matters. It 100% matters. I blame both groups, the older people and the younger people, for fucking destroying magic clubs. These motherfuckers, they both thought one was better than the other one, and they didn't want to fucking, and you know, fuck you both, man. You're the reason that you didn't have enough money to pay for certain lectures and stuff, because the people's attendance went down because nobody did any creative stuff. And then every time a young person would do something, an old person would fucking correct them. Who the fuck wants to be around that kind of thing? And then every time an old person would try to show something to a younger person, I saw it happen, man. I saw it happen. I saw the fall of magic clubs. Now, let me tell you something right now. They're in a fall right now, but it's possible. It's possible to get them back. I don't know if it's probable. It's possible.
What needs to be done?
Because the online thing has just taken over. I mean, it really has. It just evolved into this other monster now. You know, it's unfortunate when young people don't think that old people have something to teach them. It's also unfortunate when old people don't think young people have something to teach them. I never want to be in a place where I can't learn from any kind of group of people. I don't want to ever be in that place. I'm not perfect. I've never been perfect. I'll never be perfect. And so I want to always learn and educate myself in everything. And part of the maturity of being the maturity of a magician or a wizard, whatever you want to call yourself, is going to these clubs and hanging around all these different people and watching the joy of somebody coming in and say, oh, I've been working on this. And then you get to watch it, you know, and then, you know, you get a little critique or whatever, but there's a fucking goddamn fucking family kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
And I got to experience that at its very dark, you know, in the greatest part of it. And then I got to experience the worst part of it. Magic clubs are pretty much dead right now. The only ones that are really alive are the ones that are sponsored by bigger companies like the Magic Circle and Magic Castle, but IBM Ring 13 isn't fucking you know, doing well, or you know what I mean, like. And especially through COVID and all this other stuff, it's fucking scared people, and then you have two different groups of people that think this and that, so it sucks, man. That's why me and Adam did those 33 some lectures, because we knew the importance of connecting magicians to magicians.
Yeah.
And that was our goal through that. We didn't ask for any money from anybody. We did them for free. And we did 2 to 3 hour fucking lectures each time. It's a lot of fucking hours, man.
And you, I know Adam quite really well, and I know you really well. And the thing that you two have in common is you care about the art. You care about people being better performers and better magicians, and you know that comes across when I speak to both of you.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that, man, because it's my lifeblood. It really is. Magic has been the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I've you know, it just has. It's been a hell of a ride, man. It's just been crazy, and it's been rewarding, and it's been fun, and it's been educational even for me. I've learned more than I think I've taught others. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna die right now. I feel like I'm doing my obituary.
Well, you better not.
And that's it. Gotta go, folks. Click.
But here's the thing. Like, let me ask you about this. What are your plans for 2022 in terms of lecturing and in terms of creating magic? Let's talk about it a little bit. I mean, obviously, you've put a lot of time and effort into this New Year's Eve lecture. You're not going anywhere. You can't. I think you've got to a point now where you just couldn't help yourself. Even if you wanted to leave magic, I don't think you could, because you've got that. You have these ideas and you need to get them out. And I'm so glad you do.
Yeah, I've reached what I call the Godfather stage. And I don't mean that I'm the Godfather. It's just every time I try to leave, they pull me back in, you know. And I can't leave. No, that's a very good point. I've thought about that before. I'm like, you know, I could have left a long time ago. I'm stuck now, whether I like it or not, and I love it. But yeah. Well, I'm very happy to announce. I cannot say hardly anything about this other than I have a third Paul Harris Presents that'll be coming out. That's all I can say.
Now, there's two things on that. I know you can't say much, but there's two things that I wanna say. One, nobody else has done 3 projects with Paul Harris.
No, I'll be the first one,
which is incredible.
Yeah,
and
I was talking to Paul about that, and he goes, "No, you'll be the first one." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!" That's like a huge honor, man. Like, it's beyond honor. I remember being a kid, I'm 12 years old, and having a solid deception deck in my pocket at school. Everywhere I went, and I'd perform solid deception, man. And God, that was a great trick. And then you learn about Paul Harris and who he really is and this genius he is. And then you get to have phone conversations with him and be partner with him in these projects. And it's like, I remember when we did Freedom Pack, and I was just like, am I dreaming right now? This has to be a dream. This totally has to be a dream. And then I got to do firsthand. I'm like, okay, the dream is continuing. This is a long dream. And then with this new one, man, I gotta say, this new one, it might be my my favorite thing I've ever created when it comes to innovation and looking at something differently. I'm just very proud of this one. Yeah. I hate the word favorite because anything could be favorites. It's just, it has a special place in my heart. It has a special place. Yeah,
I mean, the amount of incredible magic that you've produced and released over the years that is iconic. To say that this is actually going to be the best thing.
Everybody, I guarantee, everybody's going to be doing this. I promise you. This will be and this is, I can't say anything. God damn it, I can't say anything. Well, but I make that statement. Yeah, everybody's going to be doing this. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's like the thing you showed me, man. Everybody's going to be doing that too. Are you kidding me? God.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. What if we both fail? Which is
right.
I'll start selling your shit. You start selling mine.
That's good. But here's the thing. The other thing that I got from that statement is Paul Harris has been off the grid for like 2 or 3 years. Like, Paul Harris Presents was everywhere. You knew when a Paul Harris Presents product came out, you were going to get quality. You were going to get something innovative, because Paul didn't put his name to just anything. No. I've been going back through. One thing I've been doing on my 5x5s is I've been performing slowly over the last year all of the tricks in the Art of Astonishment. I've seen that.
I love when it says Paul Harris Trick Edition. I watch it every time, dude.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going back and I'm doing all of his stuff, and it's like the amount of hidden gems in those books that people just gloss over. Like, I've just started learning for the next video, this thing with paper clips. Like,
it's so good. Yeah,
and I've never seen it before. This thing, so and I did it, and I was like, I fooled myself. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
how does that
Man's
work?
a genius. He's just he's the epitome of intelligence and genius thinking and choreographing and the simplicity of minimalist ideas. The minimalist concept is just god damn.
But
It's crazy. I remember when I first learned the flapjack thing with the cards open up and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
I'm like, this is never going to work. And I lift my finger up. I'm like, what? That works? It's crazy. And I think there's a joy in looking at things and going, there's no way that's going to work. And then you actually do it and you get those reactions, you get that moment and you're like, okay, maybe I don't understand what works and what doesn't work anymore. Maybe I should be more humble and start going under the radar of like, you know what I mean? And I think that's a great way of looking at how to create methods and put methods together is that, because with my stuff, and I think you know this, there's just so many methods happening at the same time. It's not just one method all the way through. There's just so many things
Very
happening.
layered, very layered.
Yeah. Very layered, yeah. And Paul thinks that way too, so it's just yeah, he's a genius, man. Yeah, I love those videos you do. You do them so well.
Thanks, man. It's fun doing them, but it's good to hear that Paul's going to start producing magic.
I don't know what else he's doing, but at some point I'm going to have my third one out. I don't know when. I have no clue. I know nothing. I literally know nothing. I can't say anything. Well, all I can say is that there'll be a third one so far.
And outside of Paul Harris, I mean, what else have you got coming on? The first thing I should say to people that are watching this is you need to get on Justin's mailing list. You don't spam people. You only put something out when you've got something to say.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that you bring out these days, not everything, but a lot of the stuff that you bring out these days is exclusive to you and to your mailing list. And
except for this Paul Harris thing, that's going to go through Murphy's. It's going to go through the regular channels as it goes through. But when I create something or put something out for my own website, I usually only put out like 20 or 30 copies of it, whatever it might be. I'm really into exclusivity right now. I'm not into the whole every single one of my things needs to be in every single magic shop. I've already done that game. My name's already out there like that. I don't need to do that. What I need to do is make sure that the magic I put out now is not only just the best that possibly I can make it, but also the people who are really going to perform it are going to perform it. I just don't want my shit in a drawer anymore. And so I had to make that decision to do that.
And the thing is, throughout the years, you've worked with all of the big companies.
Yeah, like every single one except Theory 11.
Every single one. And you could probably, if you wanted to, make a phone call and ring somebody like Murphy's up and say, "Hey, I've got this killer idea," and then hand off, because they just know that your name is going to sell product.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that you don't do that, and instead that you bring it out yourself and you want that exclusivity, it shows the type of person you are and the type of creator you are.
Well, man, the way I look at it, these really are my fucking babies. And I want to make sure that each one is tended and cared for. And the only way to do that is to oversee everything yourself. You have to. And that's the other reason I don't make more than a certain amount, because it takes a lot of work to do this. And not a lot of times, but every single time it's always, "Oh man, if you ever make this again, let me know." And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't go back on my word now and go, "All right, well, here's another 5 or whatever," because it fucks up the people who just bought it, who thought there were only going to be 20 or 30 or whatever. And since I hand make every single fucking gimmick, and I go through every single set or whatever the trick is, plus filming the explanations and doing the live performances for people, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And what I love about that too is it connects me to my audience and the people who are going to buy from me, that they know that I'm putting the work in.
Yeah.
That, like you said, that it's not just coming through a marketed channel of all these other companies and stuff, where unfortunately a lot of that stuff, quality control drops off. That it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And so if quality control drops off for me, I have me to take responsibility for it. and I have me to fix it. And plus, this is my business. When I'm not performing, when I'm not doing other stuff, I want to be making gimmicks and putting things together. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. I don't just do magic, but I do all the stuff that 7 people do, you know?
And that's what people need to
It's
understand.
rewarding. It's rewarding, you know?
Yeah. When people buy something off you, you haven't got a team of people behind you.
No.
You're doing everything.
It's literally this whole, it's this room. It's this room. I do everything in this fucking room. There's the desk with all the computer stuff. And then, you know, when I put the tricks together, I'm here and I'm working on them. You know, I got this whole fucking setup and everything. So I can practice and look at everything here, look at angles and stuff. You know, it's not, one of the things I love that people say about me is, you know, like you said, I don't just take pride in my work, but I'm passionate at what I do. And magic has just been so good to me. Why would I ever mistreat it?
Absolutely.
I don't know when these ideas are going to stop. You know what I mean? Like, I have no clue. That scares the living shit out of me. Talking about going back to when we were talking about like writer's block and shit.
Yeah.
Like, that scares the shit out of me, dude. And there's so many times, and I know you know this, is that you're performing, you're working, you're performing, you're working, you're creating, you're doing all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden you're just like, fuck, I don't have any new idea right now. What am I going to do? You just put out a new thing or something. I mean, it's a scary thing. And to think, though, one day I might not be able to do all these things because I might get a brain aneurysm randomly, or I might not have, my fingers could not work or something. Who fucking knows? It happens all the time to people.
Yeah.
And so, God damn it, take the day as it comes and make sure you can do everything you possibly can. I'm not scared of dying. I'm scared of not being able to do everything I want to do before I die.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I'm fucking frightened of.
Yeah. Totally get that. 100%.
Dying, everybody dies. I mean, it's old hat now, you know what I mean? People die. But it's not just how you lived your life, but it's, were you able to do all the things that you wanted personally, that you personally wanted to do? And so, you know, I have a lot of passion projects I like to do and I want to get out, or I've done already, like the coin kit, the subtle coin kit that you purchased. Thank you so much for
I have it right over there.
Oh, nice. And that was a very limited item as well.
Well,
I put a lot of,
you know, I mean, this tells you everything that you need to know, right? For anybody that's watching this right now, I see more magic than anyone, because I get, like, if you saw the amount of boxes that I've got over here, because I review multiple things every week. I see everything.
Yeah.
Everything you bring out, I buy it when I get the email. I don't look at the trailer. I don't read the ad copy. Oh, JM sent me a new trick. Buy. Everything.
You're the first. You're actually usually the first one. No bullshit. Almost every time.
When I see the email, I just immediately like, buy. I don't need to look at it. In fact, a lot of the time, you think I'm fucking nuts here, I don't read the ad copy. I don't even watch the trailer, because I just want the surprise when the thing comes as to what I've bought. And
wow, that's an honor, man. Holy shit.
And I'll say to people, I've just bought a new JM trick. What is it? I haven't got a fucking clue, but I'll find out at some point.
I have no fucking clue what it is.
Yeah, no idea, but it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Well, you know, I'm really excited about this lecture, and I think it's going to show a different side of me when it comes to a lot of the classics that nobody really knows that I do, and kind of go back to, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I just and one of my big things is I wanted to make sure people had a safer place to hang out.
Yeah.
Well, why go out and drink, you know, that day? You know, stay home and hang out with me.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to say anything negative about any companies, but you look at something like Vanishing Ink, and they do the masterclass series, where you spend quite a lot of money and you get an hour session with these creators over the course of a month. You're taking that, condensing it into one session, and charging massively less.
Yeah.
I can't think, and it's the same with everything. It's the same with the Penguin Live. It's the same with the At the Table. I can't think of a better deal in magic than the lecture that you've got planned on the 31st, which is why I wanted to do this interview and bring it to everyone's attention, because I know it's going to be killer. You've shared some of the routines here today that you're going to be talking about, but you've told me about a lot of others as well. I can't, anybody who gets this, they are not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, people would be absolutely nuts to not jump on this. I mean, just even if they're not going to be able to make it live, you'll still have it for your library, and you're going to have a ton of material that is just going to be you're never going to find anywhere else. It's just, and I got a lot of surprises playing that night too that I'm not going to talk about either.
It's amazing.
We're going to have some guests, I think, some people, some famous magicians might show up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, maybe it's possible. I just wanted to give people a different way of celebrating the new year, you know, and why not do it in a more creative way and hanging out, sharing magic. Again, goes back to the fucking groups and stuff, and the magic clubs. It's like a magic club session jam thing. I just think it's needed so much now, but you know, things evolve and things go where they go, and I don't know. We do card tricks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the other thing,
thanks for the opportunity, man.
The other thing that I should mention, you know, just briefly, as well as working with Paul Harris and as well as the lecture, obviously you're going to be a big part of Netrix when it launches, which is incredible. And I tell you what, Luke Edwards is the guy who runs my marketing department in my office. He's not a magician. He loves magic. He has no clue how magic works, but he runs the marketing department in my office. And he's been putting all of the edits together of hundreds of videos from Adam Wilber, Steve Della, Chris Congreve, John Carey, all of these people. And I spoke to him this morning. I was like, because he's working on your stuff at the moment. And I was like, how's it going? He's like, it's taken me twice as long as it has anyone else. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because I watched the trick and I just have to like watch it again and again and again. It's blowing me away. It makes no sense.
He forgets he has a job, right? He's like, oh shit, I'm not watching.
His job is he's watching magic, which is just awesome. Right. And he's like, no, this is so good. This is so good.
Oh man.
I mean, so the stuff that you've got on Netrix on launch and beyond launch is just incredible.
It's a lot of shit in it. It's quite a bit. Yeah. I'm pretty excited.
Some incredible stuff. A couple of days ago, I went to the office and he said, you got to see this trick. And I was like, okay, what is it? And he said, it's a JM trick. We're going to put it out on launch. I'm like, okay, what is it? It's signature, which is funny because I watched the whole thing because Luke said, you got to watch this. And it was an extension of Autograph.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Where you and me first had our beef, if you remember. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. And I watched it. I was like, this is so good. And I had a gig and I went out, I did it that night, and the reactions.
Oh, did you really? Oh, yeah. How cool.
And the reactions were just insane. I'm like, this is so fucking good.
This is so great how life works. This is so great how life works. Remember Autograph? Trash. Can't believe Justin Miller put it out. Remember those days? And then I literally create just a different version of Autograph, same fucking trick, same effect, different method though. It changed everything, as you know. And then you're on here going, oh my God, I went out and actually did the trick myself. That's awesome. Yeah,
and it's killer.
Best testimonial for a trick I've ever had in my life.
It's funny how things come around, isn't it? It's funny.
It really is.
Yeah,
it definitely changes the whole aspect of the trick now. Completely, it's more streamlined, as you know. It's so much better. It destroys people, man. Yeah.
And the other thing that I did two of your tricks that night that Luke was editing, and he said, I can't remember the name of the other one, but it was like a full deck oil and water.
Shock.
Something like that. It was
no underhanded. No. Hold on. Yeah, my full deck oil and water where they switch places at the end and stuff. The 2 packs.
Unbelievable, because I've got my own oil and water routine, and I use that as a lead-in, and it was just killer.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I remember. I don't know how old I was when I came up with that, but what he's saying is you take a deck of cards fully shuffled, and then you show that it's not shuffled. And you explain, then you separate them and you give them whatever color they want. They say red, black, whatever. You hand them that. You show what you have. Let's say you have the red. And then you say, if I were to go through this one at a time, this would take a long time. I'd have to take a red card out and put it in over your pack. I'd have to take a black card out, put over my pack. That would take forever. But being a magician, it's a lot easier. Snap your fingers, boom, you show. You have all the black cards. They have all the red cards. And there's like 2 phases, I think, that just destroy people, man. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I see about a lot of your magic. It happens in the spectator's hands, or even if it doesn't happen in the spectator's hands, there's always an element of interaction. And a lot of magic that you see coming out these days that I review, it's just there's nothing to it. It's just like you're performing it at the person. There's no presentation. There's no
it's that watch me magic, right? It's that classic coin. Watch me magic, watch me vanish coins, watch me do this. There's no audience, and there's nothing wrong with those if they're well presented and well structured, and you know what I mean. And it feels like a play. Of course, it's a beautiful thing to watch. But you're right. A lot of stuff coming out today is more just all this other weird stuff. Not a lot of in your hands moment. Obviously, probably because of COVID. Maybe there might be an evolution of that, possibly a variant, not to take away a word. So it's a very possibility. But yeah, I like to, in fact, I literally bought a hand for teaching, so that when I have cards or something and I'm teaching, I can put the hand on top. So you don't have that weird awkward moment where, okay, my hand would be on top of this right now. Just imagine that, fuck it. I'll just put a hand on top. There we go. So I really think magic, well, not, I know magic happens in their heads, right? It always happens in the mind. And when there's a physical contact moment with that magic, it's so much stronger. Yeah.
100%. So you've got Paul Harris, you got your own stuff that you're bringing out. You've got net tricks. Are you going to be lecturing next year? Are they going to be in person?
God, I hope so, man.
Are you gonna carry on with the Zoom lectures as well? What's the plan?
I don't know. I don't know what life is going to bring. I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people, and like I said, a lot of these lecture, these rings are just the attendance is so low that they're not doing anything, or they quit doing it, or it's unfortunate. This is how magic shops, the brick and mortar magic shops, started to die. If we don't care about the art, nobody else is going to care about it. And it's really unfortunate that we live in a world where the old and young people just can't get along right now.
Yeah,
it sucks. I would love to do more live lectures. A live lecture, a real live lecture. That'd be amazing. That's what I did before all this. I mean, June, for like 4 fucking months out of the year, I was doing lectures. When I first started, I was doing I already had like 500 lectures under my belt in 2 years. That's all I was doing was lectures. And it was so much fun touring. I miss it so much. But if things don't change, then I don't see that happening. And that's the other thing, when there's a physical attribute, the person is in front of you, or a physical product or something, there's a sense of the money I'm spending right now is well spent, because you're having conversations with that person. You're live with that person. There's an understanding that what has been spent tonight for whatever it is not just well spent, but it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they're not charging more for this, right? That's all. Those are the kind of lectures you want to walk away from. Those are the kind of moments you want to walk away from. It's hard to do through Zoom. It's a hard thing, because you're not, they're getting a product, but they're not here. They're not that, you know what I mean? It's difficult. And so, people look at prices differently these days, and especially with the uprising of all of the, the prices in America right now, with gas costs so high in America and all this other stuff. It's really weird, man. Life is just a very strange place right now. So, I hope that people will continue to watch these lectures and do these things, over Zoom, because a lot of us are living that way right now. I know there's a lot of people that are making their living off of Zoom shows right now. So I don't know what the future is going to bring. Hopefully more great magic.
Yeah, we can hope, right? We can
hope. Let's hope so.
I like that. I like that. That positivity, 100%.
Yeah.
So where can people get a ticket to the lecture, and when are you cutting off ticket sales? Because that's the most important thing.
Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about for quite a while now, because I don't want to keep it open all the way to December 1st. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it like a week before either. Excuse me. I want to do it. So what I'm going to do when this airs, people will have exactly until the very end of November, the last day of November, which would be November 31st, right? So they'll have the very last day till November 31st to purchase a seat. After that, the whole page will disappear completely.
Wow.
People have already purchased their tickets, have been already, they've received a scheduled link for Zoom that they have in their possession. And anybody who purchases from now on will get a link immediately to the scheduled Zoom lecture. But yeah, I think November 31st is going to be but November 31st is going to be the cutoff date.
Right.
You can get it at my website. And I'm sure, are you going to link it down there or something?
Yeah, I'm going to put a link at the bottom of the screen, and there's going to be a link down in the description as well. Yeah.
Cool. My website, just for people real quick, it's mentalsites.com. MENTAL, mentalsites.com, SIGHTS, www.mentalsites.com. And you're going to go to the page where, hold on a second. You're going to go to the page where it says New Year's Eve lecture, New Year's Eve live lecture. Okay. And if you want to sign up for the newsletter, that's on the opposite side where it says newsletter. So you'll see all that stuff.
And people that are watching this should sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I used to send a lot of newsletters back in the day, but I don't do it anymore. But yeah, just real quick. So the 2022 live Zoom lecture, New Year's night, December 31st. It starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I thought about doing 7 or something, but like, might as well do 9, because then that 4 hours goes into 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? And then depending on how everybody's feeling or whatever, or how I'm feeling, because you know how these lectures go. It takes a lot out of you. 2 hours takes a lot out of you. 4 hours is ridiculous. And like I said, there's going to be a Q&A and a jam session after the lecture. And then everybody gets their seat. They'll get a copy of everything once the lecture is over, because I'm recording everything. And it's only $40. And like I said, just go to mentalsites.com. I'd really appreciate it. I'd hope to see people there from your tribe that you've allowed me to influence. I really appreciate that, man. I know I'm
going to be there. I'm going to be
there. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of fun new things and some cool stuff that nobody's ever seen before. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited about the lecture. And I'm so excited about you. You seem to be in I mean, other than the whole fucking global pandemic thing, you seem to be in a good place, which is good. You know, you're creating, you're working with Paul. Things are, you know, it's good to see you, man. And you know,
good to see you too, man. A lot of people don't know this, but we chatted for like 2 hours before we even started.
We did, yeah. We always do when we do one of these.
It's like just a brother, man. Every time, like you're a close brother, man. For sure.
Like I said, anytime you want to be on this channel, anytime you want to come and do an interview. Hey, not only are you the third person, you're the only person on Magic TV I've interviewed more than once.
Oh, am I really?
Yeah. I interviewed Wilbur, and then I did a mini interview as part of looking at all the Volpine stuff.
Oh, that's right, for his new his stuff, the Volpine stuff.
But you're the only person I've done 2 full interviews with, and I would happily do a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th and a 6th. So
well, let's plan on that, definitely, man.
100%.
I'd love it. Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me.
Justin, thank you so much. Guys, do me a favor. Leave a comment down below. I'm sure Justin will see it. Sign up to his mailing list. And look, sign up for the lecture. I am going to be there. I personally guarantee it's going to be awesome. I've seen some of the magic. That's why I wanted to do this interview with Justin right now. I'm going to be back again soon with another video. But Justin, thanks very much, man.
Thanks, brother. Bye.